All right, well, we just completed the module for legal descriptions. Great job. And there are always 3 or 4 questions about legal descriptions on the exam. Remember earlier I told you that they might have a short question that looks so easy and you quickly answer it and it's wrong, or you get the answer wrong. And I've kind of been talking to you because as I'm taping or shooting my videos for these recap sessions, I just had an opportunity to see the exam on the screen 2 days ago in Jefferson City, Missouri for the Missouri Real Estate Commission. And the course provider, the test provider, provides exams in many states. So some of you may not be in Missouri. Don't panic when you're watching this, but just want to give you a quick illustration or an example. I saw a legal description question and I said, oh, that's B. And when we went over the answer, I got it wrong because I went too quick. I didn't read it 3 times. And when I read it the second time, I was like, oh, I knew that answer, but I missed it. So you got to be careful. They'll throw a softball at you and you'll quickly read it. You'll answer. You might get it incorrect. And we want to pass. We want to pass as many questions as we can, right? We don't want to just miss on some of the softballs. So you will see questions here, and you need to make sure that you go through the material, understand meets and bounds legal description. It always begins at a spot and it ends there, and that spot's called the point of beginning. So make sure that you understand that, meets and bounds. Government rectangular system. With the government rectangular system, it's a method of identifying properties with principal meridians and baselines. And that was really the question that I was asked. It was a very easy question, and I chose meets and bounds because it drew me into something about the question with irregularly shaped parcels, but or something to that point. But anyway, I missed it. I shouldn't have missed it. And that's another thing to remember about meets and bounds. It's ideal for irregular shaped parcels of property. If you've got a property that goes 100 feet this way and 200 feet back this way and 60 feet back that way and around, and it comes back to the point of beginning, that's a meets and bounds. So government rectangular, lots of things they could ask you questions there about principal meridian lines. They run which way? North and south. Now the way I remember that, this is just a shortcut. P for principal meridians is close to N for north and south in the alphabet. P and N, they're real close together. So principal meridian lines run north and south. Baselines run east and west. The B in the alphabet is close to what? The E for east and west. That's just an easy way for me to remember that. Principal meridian, P and N are close together in the alphabet, north and south. Baselines, B and E are close together. They run east and west. So you could know that. You could also know, you need to understand 640 acres. Section 16 was school purposes. There's 36 sections in a, remember that. And the section in the township is going to start in the northeast quarter and run west and then drop down and run back across the other way. So lots of things you could know there. Again, 36 sections in a township. One section is 1 mile by 1 mile, and a township's going to be 6 miles by 6 miles. Lots of information, very good things. Benchmark, datum, some other things, definitions. I would go over and make sure that you understand those and know those very well. Now let's go over a test question very quickly before we move on to the next. Okay, so here's a question that you should be able to know very easily. The POB in a meets and bounds survey is period of basis, position of boundary, point of beginning, or pier of boarding. It's a point of beginning. Remember that? And that goes along with the meets and bounds survey. Here's another one. A township is 36 square miles, 1 square mile, a small city, 640 acres. Well, I don't like a small city. I mean, you could have a small city within a township, so that's not a good answer, but we'll cross that off. Now we're down to 36 square miles, 1 square mile, 640 acres. Well, 1 square mile by 1 square mile is a section, and there are 640 acres in a section, so B and D cannot be correct. So the only answer, if we reread that again, is a township is 36 square miles. Remember, there are 36 sections in a township, and if a section's 1 mile by 1 mile, then you would have 36 square miles in a township. One more, and we'll move on. Principal meridians are imaginary lines that run. Oh, we learned something new here. Imaginary lines that run. Well, you're there taking the exam, and you're going to say, I remember John saying, principal meridian lines P and M, the P and the M, are real close to N, which stands for north in the alphabet. So principal meridian lines must run north and south, and that is the answer, answer A. Good job on this module. Keep going. You're going to be through the entire school before you know it. So it's going to go by very quickly. I will see you in the next chapter. Keep up the good work.